All right, real quick, I just want to tell you about a book I read the other day. It only took a day to read it. It's called Relentless. You should see it on the screen. It's by Tim S. Grover. And if you don't know who he is the personal trainer for Michael Jordan, the famed basketball player. Um, he was pretty much well known for getting Michael Jordan to lift weights. Back in the early 80s or mid to late 80s, it was still not accepted in basketball circles that players should lift weights. Everyone thought for the longest time that if you lift weights and play basketball, somehow you lose your shot. It, you know, stiffens you up, and there's definitely some truth in that. Well, anyway, he is, this is his book, From Good to Great to Unstoppable, and I read it in about a day. It doesn't take that long, and you'll see on the front cover a quote from Kobe Bryant, who also worked with Tim Grover a lot. Kobe Bryant, of course, the famous player from the LA Lakers. Brian says Grover knows more than anyone about the mental side of sports. The book is a blueprint for discovering what you're capable of achieving, getting results you've never imagined, and reaching the highest level of success, and then going even higher. All right. The book wasn't that good. Okay. I have no doubt that this guy can take physical athletes and get them to play through injuries and rehabilitate them and get them to, as he says, work out so hard that they're puking. I mean, he had Kobe Bryant working at the gym, 3 times a week, and these guys fly across the country to meet with him and do these crazy sessions. I have no doubt that he's good at what he does, but the book is not worth reading. 4.5 stars on Amazon or whatever it has is a little high for me. I would give it about 2.5 or 3 stars. And I don't think that you can read this book and take anything away from it for your own life. In other words, I don't think he presents transferable lessons for you. And one thing I was disappointed in is he didn't really give a lot of stories. You think this guy would have a lot of great stories, a lot of great anecdotes about what it's like to work with all these pro athletes, and he really didn't offer any. And he mentioned a bunch of times that what he said to this guy at this time is confidential. Everything was confidential. All right, thanks, Tim. If you're going to write a book, you got to share. So, wasn't a great book. I wouldn't recommend it. There's so many other great books out there that I would recommend. In fact, I will give you one now. It is Living with a Navy SEAL. Let me see if I can pull that up. Living with a Navy SEAL. Or Living with a SEAL, which is a Navy SEAL. This guy actually grew up not that far from where I'm living right now, here on Long Island. And he hired a Navy SEAL to live with him in his fancy apartment right off of Central Park in New York. The guy's obviously multimillionaire if he lives there. And this book was surprisingly very good. Living with the SEAL, 31 days training with the toughest man on the planet. This crazy guy lived in the guy's apartment and got him up at 2 a.m. to go jogging through the snow in Central Park and stuff. And it was crazy. But that book, at least, was inspirational as opposed to the one that I started talking about. So I'll give you that book, and I'll leave a link to it in the on YouTube so you can check that out. This book I recommend over Relentless. Sorry, Tim Grover. Your book just wasn't that good. Wasn't the worst, but wasn't that good. All right.